Hello. Hi, y'all. Because I'm back. How's everybody doing? Paula's here. Glad to see you guys. Um, yeah, it's been a minute, but here I am. I'm glad you could join me. Everybody hear me all right? You guys can hear me okay? I'm going to turn my volume up. Yep, okay. But yeah, Max, let's maybe a little later do one of your remote view things and you can join in and see how good you are. Huh? But I don't know if you guys seen my recent video about good to see you, Menza. I'm glad you're here, bud. John, Paula, I like Turtles. Turtles is here or was here. But yeah, I'm sure you're a little better at it than we are. But yeah, it's interesting to say the least what we are capable of doing, is it not? Um, I'd like to speak on a couple things tonight about our issues as far as ascension and thought-provoking um, information that is hidden in plain sight. If you know what I mean. I wanted to go get my drink here. I didn't want to hold you guys back though. But um, pea turtle, hot cocoa sounds really good. Yes, 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 it does. Because I'm in Minnesota and we're gonna get a bunch of snow this week, so I'll be working again or plowing anyway. But this book right here goes along with this book right here, which is done by this man right here, which goes along with um, I don't have it on me, but Paula had a nice picture of Jerry's Bible. Now, first off, I want to anybody who knows Jerry or knew Jerry or knows of Jerry needs to give Jerry's wife, April Runk, some thoughts and prayers and energy her way due to her child just got in a car accident. So, well, a few days ago now, but it was pretty horrendous, and it's by the grace of God, he's still alive. So everybody, please send your energy and prayers and thoughts to April for the quick recovery of her son. And but yeah, and April's been through hell and back. No pun intended, but she is putting up with a lot recently. It was her birthday. Her Jerry's birthday is going to be on, I think it's 1/11. Is it 1/11? I believe so. Yeah. Yes. On top of it, her brother was stabbed as well, from what Paula told me. When Phelim speaks, told me. Pizza Pie, what's up, guys? Hey, Pizza Pie, never seen you around. I'm glad you're here. Here, I might as well give you that, so you feel like you're in the mix with us. You know, yes, yeah. I mean, one thing after another. Now, is it not peculiar or shitstormish if something like that happens to one? To somebody that with such a kind heart as April is kind of peculiar. Yet, Matt Dowling, haven't seen you here in a while, bud. Here you go. But yeah, we've Matt's a longtime subscriber. He's been around for many live stream, and I'm glad you're here. Now, Matt, I don't know if you followed my channel recently and anybody's seen my content as of late, but the fact that everything. Oh, okay. Help animals live. Gotcha. Sorry, was unaware. But yeah, we have situations in our reality that just, whether it is purposefully or whether it is just by divine design, things are just hidden in plain sight. I mean, right in front of us, in movies, in literature, in paintings, in everything. Daddy Madass, what's up, bud? There's your blue tool. Everybody gets a blue tool today. Oh, it's morning there. Where do you live? You live in the UK? But recently I was trying to get if anybody's up to speed about Yvonne Gordon. If anybody, there'll be cards popping up in my video here on my live stream for Spain. Nice. Yes, I'm glad you've seen some of my recent material or content, and you know I was of the inclination of just throwing my hands in the air and waving them like I just don't care, and going about my way. But for some odd reason, I have to try to convey that which is only attainable personally on a personal level through each one of us. The pathway to God is a personal journey. And this is what the whole ascension process encompasses, is going within. Sure, there's going to be signs on the out. There's going to be signs everywhere. There's going to be signs in the heavens. There's going to be signs above as below. And we have to understand that as above, so below means the mind as above and below the heart, or as above spirit, ego below, and vice versa on every level. And that's the whole holographic Fibonacci sequence, spiral, anu, atom, micro to macro, macro to micro, configuration we have. Everything is a confluence of the one, which is God Almighty, God, our true self. And until we adhere to the concept of we are from the one, that we are all in the one together. We are all of the same thing, and everything from this table to this head to this middle finger, we are all number one. And it matters not how much you rise up this attic to attack, or to gain knowledge, or to gain understanding. You must live through the heart in a loving manner to make it all make sense and come together. What's up, Joanne? The threads on my shirt. Yeah, my shirt's pretty dirty. Oh, that's right here. What are you talking about? Hang on, I got to give you a moderator wrench so you feel like you're one of us. Live, love, and live, love, and be merry. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, that recent video I did with the upside down Christmas tree, Jerry liked to talk about upside down Christmas trees a hell of a lot. And I missed that dude, by the way, enormously. And it's like I didn't realize how much he had creeped into my psyche as far as showing me the way within the construct of his mind, because he spoke through music, he spoke through word. He liked to tear words apart. He liked to have realization on things. He knew more than most. In the upside down Christmas tree, I never got the concept until after he was gone, and it kind of frustrates me now, because I sure wish I could convey it to him now about how much it was true. Yeah, how much of it is so spot on. That the beauty of it is that the upside down Christmas tree, Purple Stuff, aka Angel Holler, what's up? Here's your wrench. But yeah, we have the opportunity in life to be an upside down Christmas tree, to be the Judah, or was it? I don't want to even go into those conceptual aspects or allegorical aspects of what the names of the Bible are. And the Bible is 100% truth, folks. And as long as you have the eyes to see it, which I don't have completely, and I'd be totally honest with that. But if you want to get a taste of it, go to Yvonne Gordon and watch a few of her videos on YouTube. Yvonne Gordon. And she has just the most awesome understanding of a Bible. But we all have a chance to live our lives upside down, meaning with our root closer to God. That is the meaning of the upside down Christmas tree. You could think of it as the upside down triangle, the Trinity, whatever you want to think of it as. The Louvre in Paris, the Louvre Museum in Paris has that in the front of their building, the statue or the statuary of the upside down triangle or pyramid with the upright pyramid, and there's a gap between them. That's the same as that creation of atom painting, right? The spark gap, Tesla spark gap. It's the same thing, one and the same thing. Now, the upside down Christmas tree is so your roots are closer to God. So you receive the light of illumination through the root, through the good root. We all have good and evil in us. This is the whole allegory of the Bible, the whole setup of devil and God, or good and evil, bad and good, night and dark. Not that either one of those is bad or good. Everything is the same because it's all incumbent upon our free will, whether or not we want to. The female in us has the desire to attain what is perceivably unattainable or what is perceived as desirable. Now, to me, the most desirable thing is to become an angel or an Anunnaki. Anu, Naki, right? Sky Father on Earth. Because Anu means Sky Father. Na, on, Ki, Earth, right? And can you say the name again? Yvonne, Y-V. Oh, yeah, okay, thank you, Menza. I appreciate that, bud. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I've been propagating her channel a lot lately, and we all have, I'm sure, Paula, she's gotten like 25 subscribers in the last few days, which is probably for her. She at first was going to come on and do an interview with me, yet she came back with a very succinct answer and explained to me that I'm doing a fine enough job. I'm the blind leading the blind right now, through the tunnel of light, because I'm not going to even pretend like I'm illuminated yet. And I have one does not know their time or their date with destiny, or Jesus comes like a thief in the night, they say, when the light hits you. And it comes, I think you have to still your mind once you're in the understanding, or the womb of the vesica, or the womb of creation, the understanding, when your heart and your mind are married, you do for everybody without expecting anything for you. It's all cliche stuff that we've all heard before, yet we dismiss and we throw to the wayside because of our dog eat dog lifestyles, or we have to get food on the table for our families, or we have to go to work, we have to run the treadmill of nonsense every day, or we have to worry about dying, you know. Stave, I love that. Hi, MCF. What's up, sweetness? I love you. Archie Bunker. Greetings, Earthlings. It might be we leave God as children and return to source. Now, I don't want to see you wrong there, because it's pretty good. And you're pretty spot on there, Max. We leave God. We don't leave God. God is us, or God is in us, but we are not God. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm God or can become God. We can become little G's, we can't become the OG, but we can become little G's, or Anunnaki. Yeah, Runkugs. Nama. Right. No min. I don't know what that means, but sounds familiar to me. I'm having a hard enough time being me right now. Like, I got time for you. Right. But I try real hard. I'm serious. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The end of the path of life is the return to the OG. P. Turtle, in a way, you are nom. Explain yourself, Archie, what you mean by that. The end of life, the end of the path of life is the return to the OG. Now, I don't want to say, I didn't finish my point with Max, I don't think, here. What did he say? Oh, children. We return to God as children. That's why, because I don't know if anybody remembers before they were 2. It's kind of almost impossible, but I can remember certain memories before I was 2 years old. And I want to get into this too, because if you're at all any way connected to, or remember a connection to a certain spiritual aspect of us, you'll remember grand illusions of dreams when you were like before 7 years old, where you can't explain or articulate what you felt, seen, or experienced as far as color, light, energy dynamics, or shapes, geometrical shapes, or you tasted numbers, or you felt colors, or you smelt colors, or something like that, usually to do with sensory opposition, meaning that it all converged, like your senses were all one thing. And I used to be deathly afraid of these dreams when I was a kid. I couldn't explain what they were. And I'd bring them up to my mom or my dad, and they'd be like, "You're nuts, kid." Or, they didn't say that. I'm not saying they said that, but, it was like a confusing thing. I will return with the vitality of a child, but as a friend, right? Yes. What are you saying, Archie? Just real, Steve. We are good. Okay, yep. There are 7 steps. 7 steps. Yes, right. My parents said I used to say, it's all around. It's all around. And they had no clue what I was talking about. Yes, it's all around. We have to describe God as separate to discuss. Yeah, but I mean, God is our true self. If you really think about it, it makes complete sense, because everybody wants to propagate the "we are all one and one for all" thing. And yet they don't want to admit that we are all one thing. Right? I mean, is that not true? Everybody doesn't want to admit that the freaking burglar down the road, or the pedophile down that road, or the bank robber down this road are all the same as us. They just have the free will to choose what they've done. That's what makes the path to God personal, because we have the personal choice, the will, the way, and the foresight, if we want it, to get there. Now, does that have to do with the number 144 or 144,000? Is that how many make it each cycle through the 7 billion that are on the planet? I know not. It's a speculation on my part. Now, Yvonne Gordon, I want to get to this, finish this point. Yvonne Gordon, I know I'm all over the place because I haven't been on live with anybody. I haven't. Hi, Max. Hi, Mr. Menza. I'm crying because Gypsy's comment. What did she say? What did you say, Gypsy? Right. Hang on, I'm looking up what Gypsy said. I'm having a hard enough time being me right now. Like, I got time for you, but I try real hard. Is that why you're crying? Because of that? Because it was that funny? I remember walking down the sidewalk as a kid and hearing something disturbing and thinking it's the end of the world. What 5-year-old kid would ever think of that? Yeah. She was talking about, oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jerry, I'm not gonna even real I watched 4 hours of his and I live streams today, and I regret not letting him talk more. I really regret that. Yet Jerry was comfortable in his way of knowing and his way of growing. Jerry was a selfless individual. He had a tendency to convey things that people did not get until way far from when he stated them. And for knowing Jerry, for being with Jerry, for spending as much time with Jerry, I sure wish I would have let him talk more and would have kept my friggin' mouth shut a little more. I realized that I love that too, as much as I do my brother, my mother, my family. And I'm beginning to realize that that is why I do this, because I love us. I love me, to be honest with you. And I know there's more than what this shit show has to show. Seriously. Due to the fact of the dreams I was bringing up when I was a kid, I had these colorful, just machinations in my mind. The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. And I had these thoughts, these feelings, these fears, these just love, light, expressive energy force in my mind's eye when I was a kid that I could not wrap my mind around, and really still cannot. But by the grace of God, by the synchronicity of 333, by the information that I've paid attention to in my life, and as of late, the constant bombardment of my environment speaking to me, of just things showing themselves to me that I sit and ponder on, that we have Jerry hears us. Jerry hears us. We are love. Jerry is love. Our experience mean it all. Yes. Our experience, Paul UK. What's up, Paul D? I've been having some strange dreams lately. 3 plants going after the moon, chasing after it. Also the stars moving. Jesus said, when one knows the truth, he becomes troubled. Great show. This is true. I was wondering earlier if the 9 lives of a cat is one of those tales we tell over and over for a reason. Ooh, goosebumps. That's why I like Turtles, because Turtles brings up the bombers all the time. I love that. Ooh, my head's tingling right now. Now, yes, 9 lives. Because what? Teresa Scott, what's up, sweetheart? Such is life. 0 1. Oh, the Fibonacci sequence. Very good. Yes, the first 6 flowers added up to 144. The crown chakra has 1,000 petals. Time. The 144 is 144,000. Thank you. Thank you, Max. I love that, John. Bow chica bow wow. I love your communication. The awesome and terrible day of the Lord. Yes. And that was another thing, Jerry. I don't know, but for me, it started the day, the eye thing from oh, from the airplane and flat earth and Antarctica. Until this things are hidden, it will be hard towards the one. Um, the Once I caught a fish alive. You said that. I've heard you say that before. I've heard you say that before. Now, we we have what was I talking about? Oh, the 144. Now, right. That now everything we're talking about here has so many meanings, so many layers of intertwined, established. That's how creation is. The 9 lives, the 7, the 3, the 5. The 5 is the process of putting the 7 to work. 7 is the loop, but we use the 5 process to incorporate God thrice great, the 3, because God is heaven, is creation, and the cosmos. Is God is dark, light, and nothingness. God is everything. God is thrice great, thrice times over. God is 333. But my point is that these numbers, the 9, the 12, the 7, the 5, the 13, the all of them, all the numbers that are just prevalent in our psyche right now are there because it is our environment succinctly communicating with us. The feedback loop of our holographic arrangement, and I'm not saying it's a holographic universe, and I'm not saying it's a virtual reality, because it don't get any realer than this. You just ask April how real life is, and that life is real for a reason. Life is harsh. Life is a shit show sometimes. Life can be gorgeous. Life can be prosperous. Life can be, yes, 7 equals seasons. Check out vortex math. Yeah, there you go. There's another one. 1 through 13, right? What's up, Cindy Lou? I love you, sweetheart. Did you get my message I sent you? We all 144. But think of this, guys. On that note, the 144. Now, why is it, of all my searching, and Phil is searching for his lot, and I've heard Yvonne Gordon say this several times in her videos about lot, and we are in the sand lot, and we are looking for our lot. We are looking for our, we're trying to bring together our lot. Now, I know not exactly what it exactly means, but I've got a thought in my mind about it. The lot is what? The lot is what, guys, to you? Huh? It's your fellows, your tribe, your familia, or your, the ones that are closest to you. But we build homes on lots. Yes, we build homes on lots. I love all the symbology coming out. Yes, there's symbology everywhere. And when I see people in our Yeah, 9, 144, right. And the whole mathematica vortex math principle thing look at how it's shaped, and look at how it works. I mean, it's got the 369, 369, staying in line. That's all. Hey, that's all right, sweetheart, Michelle. I mean, let's all be moderators. We can kick Steve off, right? Well, I just want people to be able to share links and to, sorry, but we are living in boxes and it's hard to get out. It's not that hard to get out, but it really isn't. If you start thinking in the right terms, not giving away energy to the negative aspect, because there's always going to be a malevolent, devilish, Luciferian aspect of our creation, because we can all decide whether or not to be a devil or to be righteous. That is the whole righteously, live right. I used to say, there's nothing right about me. I'm all that's left. But hey, that's just one of my little goofball sayings. That being said, we have the choice whether or not to live egotistically as spirit of the world, or how else do we have the choice? What other choice? Righteously. And everybody has overcomplicated the whole message of the Bible to a point. It's not meant to be understood by us at first. It's not. When the day of the Lord is upon you, you will understand. And you will understand in your own time, in your own hour, your own minute, your own, yours. The Oprah Winfrey Network, yours, your own time, place, right? I mean, that's what makes it personal. And from this book, the Emerald Tablets, I owe a great amount of gratitude to, whether or not it was Doriel that made this shit up, or whether it was our consciousness written down on paper. Because I know that this goes hand in hand with the Bible. It's like the Kabbalah goes hand in hand with the Bible. The Kabbalah is the guide, the handbook guide for the Bible. If you know not Kabbalah, you will not even come close to understanding the Bible. Now imagine how we would be, or I imagine me in my, egoism, in my little bubble here. If I had not ran across Phil, I was getting hints and clicks of what reality was, but I wasn't getting the whole picture, because I was on the hating God side of the fence, thinking that, and when I say hating God, I'm hating myself, hating you, only caring about me and where I was going to ascend, and if I was going to ever make it. And I don't know if I'll make it this time. It matters not, because we will make it eventually. And when I think about Lot seems saying, maybe it's too late for me. It's kind of funny. I was just saying that. Go into the town, you'll see a man pouring out. Follow him into his house to the upper room. That's Aquarius. And us going to the upper room, Pineal. Yes. And Max, I owe you a great debt of gratitude too, because you have gratuitously given with a level-headedness that I lacked and still probably lack. And I'm going to go out right now and say that, I couldn't stand Paula. She couldn't stand me, and I know that. And we're at each other a few times on my channel, yet I knew she was a lesson come to me for a reason. And I now love that woman as if she was me, and it's through tribulation and trials of that nature that this is a message for you, Daddy Matt asks about, I wanted to finish up. You see, I'm all over the place, guys, because I'm flooded with thought, and flooded with love, and flooded with, the the determination of at least helping one person understand, even if it's not myself. And I'm not saying that just because, I mean it with all my heart. And recently, I just had another thought, and I'm going to ignore that thought, and I'm going to continue with the thought I was thinking. What thought was I thinking? I don't think I remember what the thought was that I thought of, but maybe I'll think of it when that thought has been thought of. I don't know. What thought was I thinking? I have no clue. I'm still trying to remember, but I'll tell you that I love you. But she is a beautiful soul. I love you, Paula, and I love you, Steve. Hey, I love you too, man. Spread your rocket seeds. Right. And we are, yes, I am you. That which is within you is also that which is within me. Without you, where would I be? Because 1 and 1 makes 3. That's you, me, and he. Yes, we be. Tree. God thrice great. We are on that tree. We are the pinnacle of creation, because there's no coincidence that pinnacle sounds like pineal. You go to the Vatican and you look at all these pictures, like that video I recently did about the pine cone. The one thing you could just bring up to anybody that wants to dispute you about a pineal gland or a pine cone or a pine tree, and like Michelle MCF has shared things with me about the pine tree. She sent me tons of information. Paula sent me tons of information. All paths lead to the source. Some get off the suffer train sooner than, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I wanted to get to. The suffer train, the suffrage, the right here, now, and how. Yes. Poppy poo with the pine cone. Right. Just as the song says, love lifts us up where we belong. Yes, a higher frequency. Yes, 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 yes. And you will love Matt Burrell channel on YouTube. Good. I'll check it out. Yeah, and the whole thing with the pine cone, you tell one person, or you tell one thing, the only information you need to remember to steer anybody in the direction of why is that pine cone in the Vatican courtyard. The one thing. That's all you need to do, because there's no answer for that. And then they'll say, well, there's pine, it's because the pine tree is the, think about this now. There'll be signs in the heavens. There'll be signs above. There'll be signs below. There'll be signs in your heart. There'll be signs in your mind. There'll be signs in the sky. There'll be signs on earth. There'll be signs in the dirt. There'll be signs in your eyes. There'll be signs everywhere, you guys. There'll be signs where you have not thought there'd be signs. There'll be signs down the road. There'll be signs on a toad. There'll be signs filled with silver and gold. There'll be signs. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, Santa Claus, upside down Christmas trees, spark gaps, creation of atom paintings, shit everywhere, hidden in plain sight, vortex math principles, the Fibonacci sequence, Orion, Sirius, everything. There'll be signs everywhere. Signs everywhere, signs blocking up the scenery, changing my mind, or whatever the song is. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs? These signs now. Why are the evergreen trees dying? Everybody wants to say it's chemtrails, and could be. I don't know. Evergreen. What is an evergreen tree? It's the only thing that stays green all year round. Evergreen. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Is it the going theme of our earth and the way our disconnect from God has brought us? What would cause everything to go to shit? Think about that. True dissension. What would cause it? Our disconnection from ourselves, from what we truly are. What refreshes that? What refreshes it, guys? The snowball rolling down the hill? The ant not following the rest of the ants? Saying, hey, I got a better leaf over here. Maybe we won't drown if we eat this leaf and go over here. Right? What refreshes it, guys? What refreshes it? Our reconnection to God. I think it was Aristotle, or was it, when one sees the earth in upheaval and earthquakes and storms of unfathomable tenuity and strain are upon the earth, what is in man's mind other than strife, other than what? Unlawfulness, disorder, disconnection from God. So those signs right there are prevalent. The evergreen trees are dying on our planet, are they not? Fish are dying one after another, are they not? Animals are disappearing, birds are disappearing, bees are disappearing. Why? Because those are the first signs to go. Extinction, right? And I'm not saying this in a fear-mongering sense. I'm saying this as the whole picture comes to your attention, you start seeing that the macro, the outside, is actually because of our inner disconnect from what we are in a spiritual sense. If anybody here is listened to any word I've just said today so far, you must understand that it is going to be within you and your mind, not out of my mouth or any knowledge I can share with you. I can maybe make something click in your head that'll make you want to look for it. But I cannot tell you, like Phyllis told me over and over, and my point with Yvonne Gordon saying, Steve, you're doing a well enough job telling people your way, and you're living through your heart, you're loving, and you're doing the right thing. There's nothing I can do to come on your show to convey anything more than you're already conveying. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, this woman is so brilliant that why didn't I think about that? You know, she's an introvert of the most extreme. She struggled with weight loss. She struggled with eating disorders. Yet this woman is brilliant beyond anything that I've ever come across as far as biblical understanding and understanding that all is within us. Everything, salvation, good, evil, the cosmos, the abyss. She calls it the void. Phil calls it the abyss. You know, the void is the God-shaped duat or God-shaped void or blackness or abyss of our consciousness, of the this place where God can only traverse, and that is within us, folks. There is no that or them or they and us. It's us, plain and simple. It's called a universe for a reason, for one reason, because there's one, guys. We're all one clown on one unicycle on one wheel with one pedal and one mind, and that's that. We can all think we're different. We can all say that this is that and that is this, but we are all this in that one thing. You know, and our lack of one-mindedness, consciousness is part of the reason the earth is still in a coma. Correct. You are doing this, teaching others the way, and we all are doing that. Oh, Shannon, I got to give you this. Sorry, honey. Hi, how are you? Hidden Hand, how are you? Oops. Who else is here? Sorry, I got on a tirade. I am a meat popsicle. I love that. Somewhat through the individuals that seek it. Also, the waters are turning red too. While the waters turning red is an allegorical term for the light, the slain lamb, the the personification of a solar eclipse is the slain lamb, is ascension, is the light in our mind. You know, if I had a flashlight, I'd show you guys, but here, I'll do this. I'll go on my phone and turn this on. Now you see this? You see the rays. You see these rays going down here. See these rays? Here, let me try. Poof. There's where we exist. You know, I'm not saying literally, but poof. That's where we exist, guys. Poof. Say hi. Poof. There's the light. There's where the cross comes from. You know, if this was in a darker way, let me see. And you notice the magnetic perturbation lines in the light as it shines through into the video. You can see that the magnetism, i.e. force and motion, perturbation of the medium or static void of the all or of the ether, you can see the lines in there too. But this is where the cross comes from, folks. And I'm not saying this light literally, but I'm saying, you know, the light, the pineal light, we're the pinnacle of creation. We are made in God's image because we are a necessity for physical creation manifestation. It is through us. It is through us in which this manifestation is recreated or refreshed, if you will. We are the vehicles to the atomic, mineral, gender, animal, mentalism aspect, because that's inevitably what the 7 loop is the, you know, the mentality or the mentalism, you know, which is the beginning and the end, which is the first and the last, okay, the mentalism, but that's the end product as well as the beginning product, you know, because the light of illumination is this boof moment, you know. I still haven't got this. Also, the waters are turning red. The red. Okay. Okay, what are you guys talking about? Chariots of fire. I also like Odin. Looks like mushroom spore print, all wrenched up and ready to go. Love that. You know, you guys may think it's a little odd that I give everybody a wrench, but I don't, you know, whatever. Jesus said, let your eye be single. Yes, our third eye. Isn't it crazy that our pineal gland is called the third eye as well? God thrice great. You know, I'm not saying Jesus or the personification of Jesus, the light is God by any means, because we're not, you know, Phil comes off as a pompous person in this aspect of where I'm explaining to you, and this was young in his because he said he was in training to explain, because you get this flood of knowledge or flood of knowing things, like even Yvonne said it. Now I want to stay with this thought now. Phil said, I have a biscuit. You know, a biscuit's a thing, right? You know, just like the light. The light is a thing. The light is our, you call it a creative principle or the end result of our understanding and our unification of all things that are two into the one, making the three. Three's great, right? Okay, now, do you want to worship my biscuit? I'll set my biscuit out here. You can worship it if you want. It's a thing, right? Just like the light is, which is Jesus. Are you going to worship Jesus as you know? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any means, but he came off pompous and people are turned off by that sort of thing. But it makes perfect sense because it's an automatic thing. It's a product of our union with God, is the light. By the light we live, by the light we die. Until you die, before you die, you will not live like we are meant to live. The whole thing with being born again in the Christianity aspect, born again is while you're alive. You cannot finish the great work while you're dead. You have to be on this planet, walking in the flesh, experiencing the word made flesh, which is also Jesus, the light, you know, because the word is God. God is the word. You know, you can say it's the vibration, all that stuff, but that's not the point. The point is that the word is everything. God is the word. Truth is with God. God is with truth. God is truth. Truth is the one thing. There's one truth, guys. And my point with the whole Phil thing, saying that I have biscuits or a bag of peas, you're gonna worship them. You know, it made it set something off in me, like, wow, that's it. And that's when I started believing. The one belief that I started believing out of all of this stuff, because you know, belief in the word belief is lie. But I'll lie in this belief, meaning that I'll stay there. I'll rest. This stone will rest upon the rock of Gibraltar, of the one truth. Because if there's more than one truth, the one truth isn't truth, is it? And wow, I got 28 people. Sun, ooh, gotta wrench you up. You're leaving? Zupet, gotta wrench you up. What's up, Zupet? Nice to see you. The light is the sun, moon glow. Nothing is as it appears. Now here's a great interlude to what you just said, Joanne. Yeah, I got to go. Good night. I love you. Good night, Shannon. I hope you're feeling better. But yeah, hit the like button. Hey, if it'll spread this message, you know, and I've got several aspects of this YouTube purge that I want to get to, but I don't want to lead anyone down the negatory or the derogatory or and I'm not saying that it's there to be ignored. I'm not saying we should ignore anything that's against us in the free love movement, or you know, the whole we got to get along. Hey, you don't have to say thanks for a wrench. I do that. I give everybody a wrench because I want everybody to be able to post links. You know, be respectful, because I will nip it at the bud, you know, whatever. And I understand, y'all, the sun is the consciousness that created the planets. The planets are the consciousness that bore consciousness of itself, as above so below, from the macro to the micro. Correct. The planets are just the tree, the sephirotic tree of life in the cosmic sense. Now I want to get to that whole thing too, about the 113-2020 aspect of our whole paradigm too, is that's another sign up above, you know, because there's above as much as there is below in the cosmogony of our understanding as well. You know, there's the Kether Malkuth, the Keter, the Malkuth, you know, when okay, you delve into works like Graham Hancock's or Eric von Daniken, which they're pushing big time on the History Channel right now. You delve into them works and you start realizing that, okay, so yeah, what was I getting at here? You start the lowered kingship, or yeah, kingship from heaven. You know, if you go to Matthew LaCroix's channel, he's got good information on the outer aspect, and I'm not saying that Jesus wasn't a real man either, guys. When I said that Jesus is the light, okay, Jesus could very well have been an ascended master like Phil or Yvonne Gordon. You know, Phil and Yvonne Gordon are the only. Oh, you see, and then I get back to, I'm all over the place, man. My mind is scattered right now. Yet it's all on the same message. And I apologize if I'm confusing people, but maybe it'll be cliffhanger to keep you enthralled in what I'm saying, which, you know, I don't want anybody to hang on my word. I just want everybody to look within themselves and maybe follow anything, any little thing that I maybe, you know, because that's exactly what the epiphanies of my journey have brought me to. So many people have contributed to that. But here I go again. Yvonne and Phil are the only two I've come across that are freaking comfortable in their skin. You can see it. You can feel it when they speak. You understand that they're still in their mind. Stillness is understanding. Understanding is peacefulness. If you want to be at peace with what you truly are and the shit show we call life, you want to be at peace, you have to know thyself. And both of them say the same thing in different ways. You know, Yvonne hasn't really explained that the light looks like a cross, but she's experienced the whole illumination thing from start to finish, the visitations. She explains the Bible like I've never heard anybody explain the Bible, and it resonates in my soul. And that's how I know when truth is truth spoken to me, because it resonates in my soul. It's like we all have a connection that we've all felt disconnected from, like the dial tone on a phone when somebody hangs up on you. You know that they were there, but now it's going brr, and then after the brr, what happens? Nah, 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 nah. And we're stuck in a freaking endless cycle of nah, 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 nah. Why? Because we don't have the connection we had once with God, with each other, with the one, us, our true higher self. If we live through our heart selflessly in a selfish existence, give without expecting, just out of the sheer means of giving, then you will succeed. Mother Teresa, who knows if she ever ascended, yet you have to have an open mind to what the truth is. So I say to you, when you speak from your heart and mind as one, what's up, bud? Like this, Steve, you are so relatable. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm not looking for pats on the back. And that's another thing is both with, oh, here, let's see. Truth strikes a chord. Yes, it does. Weird having deja vu right now. Yes. No, why? You want me to have that? Do you want them? No, you can use them. Shut that fan off, please. Sorry. I was just griping at my boy. He wanted to use his deja vu is a bizarre, anomalous experience. Deja vu is our environment, succinctly speaking to us, within us, about what's going on around us, in us, for us. The cosmogony of the cross conjunction, the symbolic hieroglyphics of ancient Egypt, of pictographs from Assyria, of the Mesopotamian and civilization, of the cuneiform texts of even Irish, Gothic, Norse, all of these things. The whole Asgard, the whole rune culture, the whole all of these things, they all are interrelatable. They all connected through a string of oneness, of one thing, from beginning to end, from end to end. The book ends. In between is all the same. You and me, we are we. It's, but it was always there. It's always there. Yes, it is. It's always there. The truth, may the truth set us free. Now, I want to just finish one thought on the 144 thing. Is this why I've only come across 2 people that are really, really, truly illuminated? Out of 7 billion, there's got to be more, right? Phil and Yvonne both have stated that there's angels always. There's a cloud of witnesses. If Phil had a holographic experience that popped out of his chest and he's seen, the 144 or whatever, just a halo of people, of beings, of angels staring at them. Both of them have said this very same thing in their videos and in their explanations of what they've been through. Now, Phil has done it through more of a intellectual process, where Yvonne has done it through more of a spiritual awakening experience. And this is how I know that the Bible comes to you as if it was the word made flesh, meaning that even though you don't understand it when you read it, if your mind is in the right place when you're reading that word, faith goes hand in hand with understanding eventually. When you understand it, it hits you like a ton of bricks. She said that she walked around for years like her head was a foot above her head, just like Phil did. Ha ha, the Coneheads. Ah, Narfle the Garflunk, Narfle the Garflunk. Anybody watch that movie? The Coneheads? Why did all the pharaohs have these bulbs for pharaoh headdresses? Or why the elongated head thing? And why did people bind their skulls and all this other stuff, like the Caracas skulls in Ecuador? Why? And like Akhenaten, they say that he was an alien. I don't think so. I think he was a product of incest, because his family was trying to keep the bloodline, literally, in a literal sense, because they didn't want to complete the great work, because a pharaoh by definition was supposed to complete the great work before they were pharaoh. Between ages of 5 and 10, they had indoctrinated within them the art of illumination. That's where the secret societies, the fraternal orders, and all of them stem from. The word became manifest in the flesh. I believe that's the quote that puts Christ in you. Yes, yes, yes. We're also the word made flesh as well. I don't know about that. I'm not sure, but yeah, it makes sense to me. Time to meet the school bus. Awesome talk, Steve. Awesome chat room. Love, light, and strength to you all. Thank you, Teresa. Music helps push the negative vibrations, frequencies away. Yes. I missed a few minutes of the stream. Did I miss finish saying what you were saying about Yvonne? I probably went back and forth to him like 15 times, but Yvonne is the sweetest thing ever. And it's so satisfying to come across another person that is comfortable in her skin, and she's facing a shit show just like the rest of us. Yet you can see the stillness, the affirmation that we all aspire to have, that when you realize that all isn't in vain and there is truth at the end of the tunnel, truth that we all seek, and it's there, it's attainable. It's not just something that people talk about, or it's not just some irresistible, ineffable, unknowing thing that we can't experience. People want to say God is unknowable. People want to say that we can know thyself. We can know God. God is within us, but we aren't God. We can become little G's, like I said, but that's not the point. The point is that this woman, she explains everything. The Christos, like Max, John has so poignantly pointed out several times to me, the Christos rises and falls within us. That's the chimney that Santa Claus goes down. It's the 33 vertebrae up and down your spine. It's the 7 chakras, the same as the 7 loop of creation, the Hermetic principles, the 7 houses of the Lord, the 7 candlesticks, all of it. These numbers, these things are all there for a reason. And then you start marrying in the gematria of the Hebrew Bible, and then you start tying in the Torah of the alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet, and what that means. The flame in the tent, and the eye in the triangle. I mean, it's everywhere, folks. It's everywhere. And I'm not saying that there's people not hiding things from us intentionally, and I'm not saying that they're all in on it either. I'm saying that, if you know this, like Akhenaten, my point with the Akhenaten thing is, if you know this and you think you can keep it from people, humanity, what are you truly? You are evil personified, because you are hiding the one thing we are here for from everybody and everything of creation. In turn, that one act alone, hiding what we truly are here for, what will it do? By his own mental psychology or schizophrenia or whatever that guy had, he had this complex of people making fun of him because he looked like a female. He had elongated face, he had long fingers, he had, and we can get into the whole alien thing. I'm not saying there's no such thing as aliens. I'm not saying that there wasn't gods that came here and messed with our DNA. I'm not saying none of that. Now I'm saying that how I see Akhenaten is a heretic pharaoh that did not follow the order in which eons and eons of Egyptians had previous to him. The pharaoh was supposed to understand and be one with the ineffable God. God is spoken of in the Unas, in the pyramid texts. God is spoken of in the Emerald Tablets. The ending passage in the Emerald Tablets is, now I go down yet up to the halls of Amenti, where I will lay and rest until I am called upon. Down yet up, as above so below, in the mind and in the heart. Maybe others feel it but fear saying it. What's that? I am Jack's infinite shite, the menorah and the majority. Yes. Pink Feather, so right. Oh, Pink Feather's here. Pink Feather 8333. I love the number 333. We already are little G's. Just ask dogs. Christ oil candlesticks, the anointing of the anointed one, the walking word of Most High's vibration of love. Yes. Sue G, what's up, sweetheart? Glad you could join us. I miss you. Miss seeing you around. So you guys, I seen you and Deborah Tucker got together, right? Did you have fun? Deborah's an awesome soul. And damn straight, Pete Turtle. Children of the Sun. I'm glad you had fun. How's your knee doing? I'm hoping that oh, and if you talk to Milky Way, anybody talk to Milky Way, give him my apologies. I kind of acted like a dumbass on his channel because I was in a mood. I had negativity raining down on me. I'm not kissing his ass or anything, but tell him I'm sorry because I love him. He's always been there, doing his thing, and I appreciate him for what he does. So and I apologize to the guy, Ken Nichols or whatever, Ransom. If I offended him, I apologize to anybody I offended because I didn't mean to. I mean well. I live through my heart and sometimes talk out my ass, which usually comes out this thing. My pie hole can't stay shut for long, but you know what I mean? So yeah, John 3:33, heart seal. Hey, my favorite excerpt or passage of the Bible is John 3:16, and I went to Christian Bible camp all growing up. I've seen 333 my whole life, and it's kept me out of jail. And I'm not saying that's a good thing because I did some bad things when I was younger. I made choices with my will that I maybe shouldn't have, and I'm doing lots to rectify that and trying my best. Now, that being said, what was I getting at here? Oh, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, for he who shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Now, what does that say to you? that says that, oh, everlasting sun. Oh, like Akhenaten wanted everybody to think it was the sun in the sky. The sun in the sky is merely a personification of the one ineffable spirit, God. But it's just that. It's just a. Did you guys know that day? The word day is born from Deus, which means God. So every day, every God we wake up, you know, there's a sunrise, there's a noon, and there's a sunset. Every God, every day, you know. You break down words, you start realizing that the etymology of things is so twisted, like the mathematic vortex mathematic principle of Rodin, or what was his name? Yeah, is that his name? I can't remember. But the vortex math principle of the 369, and how, you know, the doubling effect of everything, and that is like the schematic for DNA for the Anu. You know, see, every God we wake up, fun with words. Yes, Friday all day. Whoop. Right, right. Fry God. Right. It's a fractal of source. Yes, everything. Everything is a everything. 333. They who receive this testimony has set to their seal that God is true. Nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. John 10:10. I have come that ye might have life and have it more abundantly. Yes. Each sun is a fractal of source. Wondered what happened to Sundays, school Sundays, to SS Sundays. Oh, that's, you know, I pissed him off, and you know, I pissed off Brian, and I accept responsibility for my own actions. Yet I cannot stand to hear people start talking about God as being our enemy, because the only enemy we have is ourselves, guys. How can we spit in the face of what we are by saying God is not first true? God is bad, because there's nothing bad about God. Bad is manifest in us. It's not God that does it. It's us. We have free will. By our free will, we live or we die. By our free will, we walk across the street or we fry. By our free will, we decide to smoke a cigarette. We decide to drink a drink. By our free will, we decide to live righteously or devilishly. It's our free will that does bad, not God. People want to say, well, God is this or God is that. If there was a God, why would God let this happen? Well, what would be the fucking point if God ruled everything with a fucking hammer fist? What would be the point? What would be the point? You know, Aaron said something. Aaron Esoterica of Australia, Esoterica, another brother from another mother, just like you all are. Fucking God, I have arrived. Right. Right. Teron James, God only protect the strongest. Faith in him and the weak burn in hell. Burning in hell is just burning on this planet. There is no hell per se. This is hell. In the whole dichotomy of our existence, you know. And I don't want to come off as a Bible thumper. I don't want to come off as a God righteous, like I'm living the light and my way is the only way and what I say is goes. And I don't want to come off as that, guys. I really don't. I just want to convey the message that has been seeping in me ever since I started this journey. And it started foolishly enough as me filming the sky thinking there's a planet. And I'm not saying it's foolish to do that, because it's part of the process. This is the process of, with this clay, we build pyramids. That's what I mean. That the process of the 5 to this through the 7 brings us to the 3, which shows us that it's all one. That's why the Fibonacci sequence starts out as what? 1, 1. Not 1, 2. It's 1, 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? What does that mean? Filming and ranting. Truth in me. Hiya. Glad you're here. I will when I say don't ever drink and drive. Right. Right. Don't drink and drive. I'm not saying that. For the same reason I won't harm myself, I can only assume God does not want to harm itself. True. Very true. The thing is that okay, you have this mountain. And my point with I was going to say with Aaron, he brought up a good point to me, and it made perfect sense. And even Jerry said this to me a couple different times, is if we had, and I've said this too. I said to Aaron and Jerry, I said, hey, if we had all the answers, what would we do? What would drive us other than the materialism, cars, stars, and bars mentality? You know, got to get drunk because I feel the funk because I got to go to work. You know, we live, we die. For what? What is the freaking sense? Why would we want to be here? What would be the point? To toil for nothing? Because essentially that's what money does. We toil for shit, for nothing. We get nothing out of it in the end because we die. We are the walking dead. Dead man walking. Everybody you look at, dead man walking, dead man walking. I'm dead. You're going to be dead. You, right there, you are going to die. So now what? Deal with it. Now what? Right? So you live with that every day in your head. The fear of your own mortality. The fear of why are we here? The confusion. The money aspect of life. Right? Were it not for money, where would you be, honey? Think about this now. Aaron says to me, Steve, it's never meant to be fully understood. For as you climb the mountain of truth, that mountain grows. As you reach the summit of the truth, that truth becomes a bigger truth. That truth finally rests on the Mayat, the truth of God. The first mound of creation, which is the personification the pyramids are meant to encompass and relay to humanity. It's not some pharaoh's graveyard or some Noah's Ark. It is Noah's Ark. Don't get me wrong, because it's the axis mundi of the certain mindset or certain civilization. It's like Quetzalcoatl and Jesus are the same thing, or the serpent and the eagle, or the whole Garden of Eden and the whole tree of life and tree of good and evil. We are eating from the tree of good and evil every day we are alive, every breath we take. This is true. The tree of life is also the same as us. The tree of life is the stop and go of creation, because we are the self-replicating principle of the light. We create the light, which creates us. The perturbation in the medium, like this phone right here that I just showed you guys, this flashlight, the perturbation in the medium is the vibration that causes the polarity, the difference between the dark and the light in the chaotic waters of noon. It is the point source of illumination that is God, and it's been so so misunderstood, that because in a logical sense of logic, in a my truth can be totally different than someone else. It does not mean we cannot learn to get along. That's not the point I'm trying to make, though, Thoth. It depends on the death. It could hurt a lot. Yes, it could. But the point, what I'm trying to talk about, hey, I was just talking about you. Dude, that's weird as fuck. I didn't know were you here when I was saying your name, dude? Wow, that's so weird. That is so weird, dude. Did you just come in when I started talking about you? You should drive up here and get a jar of my cranberry sauce. I want to hug you, girl. Cindy Lou, I love you, sweetheart. And I got to talk to you about something big time. I had a dream about you, and it was pretty profound. But yeah, I showed up when you were yelling about fucking God. Yeah, right. Yeah, you did, Toss. But I was talking about Aaron. I was just talking about him. And I just, yeah, just came at the exact time you mentioned my name. 2 podcasts in a row. No, Cindy, I'll drive up there. I'm not working right now. I'll drive up there and see you. Definitely. You do you, bro. Boo. Yes, right. Tehran, you are no more God than your blood cells are you. Yes. That is very interesting flashlight. But the perturbation, I'll come up there tomorrow and see you, sweetheart. Maybe you can drive halfway here, okay? But the and was resuscitated within my experience. It's a lot harder of a journey being born here than it is dying. Yes, land prices are raising through the roof. Yes, yes. Now, so okay, now the flashlight thing. What was I talking about? I just got sidetracked because Aaron showed up. Now that mountain of truth is our hero's journey, our life. You could say that the house of bread, the house of, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the house of bread is the arch in it's the letter B, in the Hebrew alphabet, right? The house of bread, right? Bethlehem. And it's right. And so the house of bread is the arch, which also is the top of our skull. Okay. It's the arch. Now, what is the arch? The arch is the triangle the sun makes in the sky. The arch is the Deos, the sun up, the noon. And it's no coincidence that the waters of noon and high noon are one and the same, See, now this is how it all works. It's just intricately smashed together. So divinely intertwined that the Gordian knot is the same as the cross, the same as the light is Jesus. The Gordian knot is, we are all intertwined. Everything in creation is intertwined into just a ball of love, a ball of everything. And within that ball, there's rotten apples, there's this and that. But my point is the house of bread. Every day, the sun completes that house of bread. The three magi, 3 points, right? 3 magi, God thrice great. Yeah, and Yvonne made a good statement that I picked up on right away on Yvonne Gordon's channel. She said that she said anybody looking for a Messiah on the outer is only going to flounder in their own convoluted understanding of what isn't, because what is the only Messiah that can save you is the Messiah within yourself, because that is all every text tells you, is to look within. Everyone. None of them say that, hey, man, well, some of them do sound like they say, the hour of, the for the weak and the wavering and the wicked and all of this stuff. But I mean, we see it through a physical sense because we are physical manifested. We need to be fearful to live, because if you're not afraid of walking across the street, you're going to get ran over by a fucking car. If you're not afraid to jump off a cliff, you're going to jump off that cliff and realize on your way down that, hey, that was a fucking mistake. I should have been afraid as fuck as this, because I'm going to die when I hit the ground. Right? That's what the fear and ego is to keep you alive long enough to realize what it's for. Without the fear, we would not get here. We would not be there. We would not be anywhere. Because we would have been killed. And I'm not saying that even with the fear, is going to keep you alive. You're still going to make mistakes. Creation is unforgiving. It's the, the crook and the flail of the Egyptian sarcophagus. The flail is a judgment thing, is a severe thing, is a severity. It's neither, it's neither good or bad. It's indifferent. It's the judge of your own doings. And the crook, the shepherd's crook, is the guidance, the merciful part, the caregiving part of creation, because those two aspects are married. Those are the two keys of the heaven, the heart, and in the mind, or the moon and the sun. You can think of it on, silver and gold, silver and gold. That song on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that When Thalem Speaks shared with me. But my point is that these aspects of on the sarcophagus are within everything. They are the guiding archetypical thought processes of what we truly are, because we have both aspects in us, just as, because duality is a means to oneness. Duality is a means to manifest creation. Without polarity, which is duality, we would not have oneness. We would not have this word coming out of my mouth. We would not have the internet. We would not have YouTube. We would not have good or bad. We would not have anything. Because from the vibration comes the polarity, comes rhythm. The pendulum starts swinging. Goes to good, maybe skips to bad, goes back to good. And I'm not saying that there are, this ties into the whole Akhenaten thing. You're swinging to the good. Why go back up the bad hill to figure out what it's all truly about and to gain illumination when you have it all already? That's what I'm sure that he thought. People want to make fun of me because I look retarded because my family effed themselves and, inbred, because they wanted the blue bloodline. They wanted to keep their royalty and all this shit. They had to know. Hot and cold are just two ends of extremes of temperature. Yes, very true. Right. There is no duality, just extremes of the same thing. Yes, 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 yes. You are starting to sound like Ken Wheeler there, buddy. I'm just kidding. Everything is dying, including my phone. Have a great evening. Hey, Truth and Me, thank you for joining. Taryn James, natural law to seek and understand the truth about what is happening within around us is an essential and fundamental aspect of true Christianity. Very true. Truth is the only true religion, meaning knowing the truth about who we are and how the law's reality works is the only thing that can reunite humanity's collective behavior into accordance with, yes, sing it, bro, silver and gold. Yes, miss talking to everyone. I am tall and skinny, so I don't look like Ken at all. Right. I only have one tattoo also. Right. Male blue, female red. Right. And now laugh, Steve, because if we stop learning. What does that mean? And now laugh, Steve, because if we stop learning. I don't understand what you meant by that. I need a babysitter when Steve's live. Hey, Michelle, I'll babysit you, baby. No, Nathan's awesome. And you're awesome, Michelle. And if we know it all, what happens? I don't think we can ever know it all. And I think you have to really, truly walk the talk that you're talking about walking. And, I may sound like a learned individual as far as this whole aspect goes. And I may sound like I know what I'm talking about. In a way I do, yet like Yvonne said, it's like I'm doing a fine job of leading the blind because I'm blind, but I'm going in the right direction. And she knows that, and she thinks that it's more beneficial for people to have some sort of obstacle of discernment process within you decide for you whether or not you are going to achieve what is within you, if you understand what I mean by that. Like, you can give people the answers, or you can lead a horse to the trough, but you can't make it drink. That whole cliche statement, all that bullshit, you know. I'm not saying it's bullshit, because there's truth behind everything we hear, say, do, you know, in all movies and everything, every aspect of our life. There is truth of God present. Just by the light itself, it shows us that there is something bigger at hand here, right? Just by having dark and light. I mean, just think about that. Think about that. Now, knowing it all is no free ride, is no free pass to ascension. Maybe knowing it all and applying that knowledge through a selfless, egoless, righteous way of life, by giving, sacrificing who you are for the betterment of all for one and one for all. You have to think of yourself as the one that is for all, and forget about the all for my one. But we are all in it to win it for the one. We all want to be first, right? The good of all. Yes, science is the cheat codes. Look at how we cheated death with medicine. Yes, yes, I drowned it. I'll drown it. JK, right? The game goes on, and the game will go on. So I reckon it's more like a sandbox. Maybe sexing up all the girls and squirting out children is how you win. I lost that game, right? Have patience is, yes, okay, now, the female in us is the desire, okay? Now, this is the Lilith aspect of the confusion or convoluted message that everybody thinks the Bible is telling us. The Lilith aspect of the Bible is the desire to want more. The desire is the personification for your mind. You know, the desire in us is the female aspect to turn us towards God, to have our desire grow towards the knowing. That is the female aspect in us, right? What is the male aspect? We all know that. That is the figuring things out, fixing things, right? The pragmatic, right? A little less philosophical, a little more attainable. You know, got to put bread on the table and, you know, get something to drink because I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. God damn it, right? The one that fixes things is the man. The, you know, the science. It's this. It's, you know, the one that's going to fix things. The woman is the desire to get you looking in that direction. Because what do we do when we see a female that's hot, guys? We look in that direction, right? Just like the woman does. Just like the woman does. And that's so odd when I think about this as I'm talking, because right now this movie Star is Born comes into my head again. Lady Gaga. You know, I love that movie, guys. You know, I love it. And it brings up this maybe you can pay Wayne to give you some magic favor. Right. I only want to know enough to remove fear. Us living in houses, grocery stores, electricity, etc. Yes. I like hot cops, right? I bet you do. You like hot cops, I bet. But Christ died once for all. So when Jenny quits looking for Forrest, ba-bam, there you go. There you go. Practicing what he preached, and one of the only people ever to do so. Love thy enemy, for thy know not what they do. Now, what is enemy, guys? What is enmity? Do you guys know what enmity is? Enmity within us is something that grows, is the twixt forces of the battle between heaven and earth, or the battle between the serpent and the righteous, right? That is the battle in the heavens, guys. That is within us. Because as the desire starts turning you towards God, and this is, in my opinion, this is what the midlife crisis is about. This is what happens when the clock starts ticking for females, and they start wondering, what? Wait a minute, my biological, I gotta have a kid, or this whole hormone thing. It's all tied together. The Christos, all of it's all tied together. Kundalini experience, all tied together to what I'm talking about right here. Now, with the fear, keeps us alive long enough to start understanding, wait a minute, there's more to this reality than what we are taught or told or behold or consider as truth or what is. Okay, so we live with fear long enough to keep us alive, so we don't fall off the scaffolding, so we don't jump off a cliff, so we don't drown in the fucking lake, so we don't smoke crack until we die like Chris Farley, or sad but true, the good ones go first. My dad, my best friends, Jerry, it just happens that way. And why? Because that's just creation. It's indifferent to us. But my point is that this fear keeps us alive long enough to get us to a point of self-realization, self-realize action, meaning it brings us to a point where we start seeing things in a different light through the desire of wanting to know that light or the truth. And that's another thing. There's no coincidence that there's a star on the top of a Christmas tree, that the light in the sky, light is everything, right? There's no coincidence in all that. In all the passages in the Bible when Jesus speaks about, through me I am the light, I am the way, I am the doorway, I am the passage, I am the way to the truth. May the truth set us free. Okay, now what I was getting at right here, what was I talking about? See, I got sidetracked again. Somebody remind me, please. It's why we come into this world screaming and crying. Yes. Broke, risen. It's a process, right? Maybe existence is pain and suffering, and being alive is the same as being sick. Very true. We are broke. There are few of us that maintain a bit of honor and integrity in this world of salesmen and liars. Yes. Is the other, you might suggest, going to be the same consciousness at a different time? Thoth. Lovely hoops, Maxi Props. Enmity. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Ooh, more fun with words. Enmity and enemy. Yes, thank you. Guys, if the truth off the shape of the earth, it will be revealed to mass when I think all will be much easier. Daddy Madas, what does it matter whether or not we are on a flat plane earth or a popsicle, for that matter? We could be in a freaking a trapper keeper binder under a fake fridge light somewhere on a galaxy far, far from here, in a book on a nook in a shepherd's crook. But one thing remains: we're together. So why even bother yourself with that? In my opinion, just it's doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying any of that, because I understand the whole flat plane thing of the accretion disk of what in essence is the hyperboloid of the toroidal structure, that the accretion disk is. This is why we look from the inside out and we see everything as an asteroid belt, a Kuiper belt, or an ecliptic, or a plane, and I'm not saying deplane by tattoo on a fantasy island either. I'm saying the plane of inertia, which is the four rivers that flow from the footstool of God, which is the Milky Way galaxy spiral arms, which we have moved on. We can get into all that, but none of that matters here, is what I'm saying. All of that matters not, because it's all in here. It doesn't matter if we're on a fucking globe or we're on a flat earth. It doesn't matter. It's nonsense. Get it out of your mind, because it's not going to get you anywhere closer to God. You know what I'm saying? Perry Reese maps. Yes. there is a toroidal shaped hole in the earth. Yes. That it's open eyes off the mess. Yes, it does. It gets us to a point of understanding that, hey, we could all we could all understand one thing or another thing, but the only understanding we truly need is to understand that we're all from the one thing, the one source, the ineffable, right? So yeah, I totally like Pythagoras and the Greeks had their little cults of math and philosophy. Yes, P Turtle, the viewers have remote viewed this, and yes, there is. The religions lost touch with the technological aspect of it. Divide, step two, conquer. Yes, and as above, so below. Yes, and I do think that there is something to the flat Earth thing, but I think it's more of a okay. Now, just put all of what you understand, the whole FE thing, flat Earth thing, and the whole globe Earth thing. Put all that aside. Just clear your mind for a minute. Let's do an experiment here. If you were a person that had the last name that started with an R and ended with a D, and I could be talking about the Ronald McDonald's of the world, but they have the money that have islands named after them. Now, those people, I'm just going to outright say it, the Rothschilds of the world, the bankers, the fucking money, the MFers of the world. Now, you have their mindset. They want to continue controlling everything, continue the narrative. And oh my God, the internet comes out. So free age of information, right? Everybody sharing information. How do you steer a population? How do you get them to throw the baby out with the bathwater? How do you get them to not even consider things? Because it worked before with, what did it work with before? Anybody that thought JFK was killed by the government was a conspiracy theorist. That was one of the first things they started on us. Or it started with hang on, here's even better. Started with the religious sects, SC or SECTS, the division in religion, and it's no coincidence that division and divine are one, they sound the same because you look at etymology and it all ties it all together. My point is, what better way to understand, to keep under control the mind of men by first putting a blanket term over everything. Anybody who believes in aliens is a friggin' nutcase or loony, right? Anybody who thinks that Darwinism isn't true is freaking author rocker. Anybody, so it goes, the beat goes on, all of this shit. So the free information of the internet comes out. So they have to come up with something, right? They have to come up with something. What do they start doing? They buy the freaking media. The MSN is owned by what? The bankers, the money, the MFers of the world. Correct or not? This environment that I'm talking on here included. They're playing with a double-edged sword, just like the truth. The truth will cut you just like it'll cut me. Now, how better to confuse people than to put every conspiracy, everything under the flat earth umbrella? Because that's what they're doing now. That's why they have, and I hate saying they because they are us, and we are being led by the nose by us in essence, because it's just like the dog and pony show we play with ourselves. We want to act like we're righteous. We want to act like we're doing good. But in the background, we're smoking crack and screwing everything it moves and cheating on our wives and cheating on our husbands and, just hating everybody and having, me included. I had the biggest ego. I still have the biggest ego that, I got to take the stick out of my eye before I tell somebody else to remove it, right? Remove theirs. My point is that what better way to get you to stay away from the truth just we could get into so many aspects of this flat earth thing that are just complete illogical in our physical paradigm, that it just cause argument, and there's no sense in it, because that's what it's there for. Everybody labeled as an FE, case closed. Nobody wants to go there. Nobody wants to be labeled. I took way too long to explain that, but good to see you here. Oh, Jack streaming. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. America is fascist. Thoth, brother Miles, how are we going to get you to see things a little more full? I'm just kidding, bud. I love your too distracted watching porn, TV, smoking weed, and drinking beers. Yes, cars, stars, and bars. Right? Cars, stars, and bars. That's that's our way, because we want to live in the lap of luxury. We all want to be happy. We all want to survive. We inherently are bestowed. The ego is bestowed upon us for for the reason I just explained. Division is divine. Without the ego, the spiritual or the soul would never have a place to divide and conquer. Because that's the battle. If you get down to the nuts and bolts of it, the divide within us, the enmity of the twixt forces within us, the good and the bad, the devil and the God, the light and the dark, the enmity within us is the divine creation itself. Really think about that. Because Lucifer is the light bearer, is our creator. Believe it or not, like it or not, Lucifer is the same as Jesus, just on different ends of the bookshelf, guys. Lucifer, when we're born as into the devilish, selfish world, a redeemer, Jesus, when we're redeemed, we're saved, right? Right. Write down new ideas from chat you want to continue with, right? No light without darkness. I just do this. This is how I do it. I don't know why, but that's how I always roll. And whenever there's structure involved with me, it goes flat. I don't understand it, but that's just how I am. But I will take that. I like the suggestion, P Turtle, and I'll try that. And I do welcome any criticism or constructive criticism. Even if you want to tell me to fuck off and take a flying leap, fine. Just be respectful about it, and don't downgrade or berate anybody. And I really hope Giant is still around. Is anybody seen him or heard from him? Because I owe him an apology too, because he's like another friend or person I love in my reality, like Sandy. She's a person from Australia who thinks that Jesus is a real flesh person on earth right now, and she thinks that it's some guy in Australia, which is fine. That's fine. But like Phil said, Jesus is like a bag of peas. It's an automatic recreation thing. It's the light. You can worship it all you want. Are you going to get anywhere by doing it? You can worship a bag of peas all you want. Are you going to get anywhere by doing it? Them peas are going to go bad. Them peas are going to do bad. Or his biscuit, or I got a biscuit. You want to worship my biscuit? Is it going to get you anywhere? Is it? Worshiping me isn't going to get you anywhere. Even listening to me isn't going to get you anywhere, because you got to listen to yourself. You have to find the truth within yourself. And that truth is God. There's one truth, guys. And I was on I had faith in Case train. I'm starting to realize that Boy George, or not Boy George, what's his name? Got to have faith, the faith, the faith. George Michael, is that his name? Right? Baby. You're asking me to stay. Say, please, please, please don't go away. You say you're giving me the blues. Well, maybe. Right? Yes. GI rocks. I'm sure we'll see. Yeah, and I owe him an apology, and that's fine. People can have their beliefs and have everything. In the end, we will all find the truth. That's what we're destined to do. I mean, so let's get back to the tipping point of what our existence is and what we're affronted with daily just by looking at the sky. We all know that shit isn't the same as it used to be. And why is that? Because the wheels in the skies keep turning, right? And them wheels are turning further and further away from what the truth really is. And if we continue to go further and further from nature, which is the one truth too, which is everything, God, we keep going away from that. And with all of these Google, if you pay attention to Google news feeds now, there's the new MSM for people like you and I. You understand that they're trying to steer our collective. Even academia, the PDFs are doing this now through email servers, through AI bots, through these means of getting in here to steer you away from in here, if that makes sense to you. Like the Google feed will start throwing shit at you about uh, okay, one day you'll see all these news feeds about how Antarctica is melting, all the ice is gone, and this and that, and then the next one you'll see, well, they inflated the climate information, and they're lying in this and that, and it's all about money and this and that. You see it that Google is involved in it, or something's involved in it to confuse us, to keep us from what's really going on. Who knows what's really going on other than what's going on in yourself, because you can only know yourself. You can't know everything. We all want to know everything. I want to know everything. When you can live in love, you free your soul to evolve. Wow. And when you wrote the word evolve, I seen love. The writer Kurt Von Donigan wrote about it in his book since he was a PO. Kurt Vonnegut, the Lucia in the sky with the yes, not the same sky. No, no, it isn't, Cindy. And I mostly watch porn, so all my ads are nice. I never click on the computer and STD. Right. It's like when you're on the porn site and all of a sudden you see the gay one and you're like, oh, right. That's funny as hell. What were you talking about what I said? Oh, the whole how they're steering us away from the narrative, the Google thing, the Google feeds, the news feeds, like I get these email servers messages about academia PDFs, and recently it's been pounding this Orion thing again in my mind, and I haven't been searching the Orion thing anymore. I have in the past, a lot in the past, and this is what my signs brought me to my realize action of what's really going on, and it's so pristinely beautiful that it brings you back to right here, guys, the heart of the matter. Even if you don't love me anymore, right? Let's get down to the heart of the matter. Even if you won't love me anymore, right? I'm not what are you saying? Oh my God. Oh, the gay porn thing. Right. Right. Yes. Oh, there's somebody that's not blue. I got to make you blue too. This is the blue group. Yep. When Steve's Christmas album coming out with it. Oh yeah, right. Silver and gold. You are too, Paula. You're a beautiful soul too. It took us a while to realize this between us, but yes. And sometimes people that love you the most are gonna freaking piss you off the most. Sometimes people that matter in your life, like, okay, now this whole Yvonne Gordon thing, and I have to address this because I'm watching her videos and I binge watched her videos because I was like, holy shit, this woman's saying exactly the same thing as Phil. And they're on two different ends of the spectrum. One's a spiritual and one's a more of an intellectual. And I'm like, I mean, just thinking about it right now, I got this uprising, overwhelming chicken skin or goosebumps, and I love it now. It's more pleasing to me now than watching porn and spewing, if you know what I'm saying. Now, that's saying a lot coming from me because I'm a guy. No, get this. What was I talking about? See, I started talking about, God damn it. Oh my God, I got just this ADHD thing. And what was I talking about? Uh, she was talking, what was I talking about? Yvonne's talking about, what was I talking about? Somebody remind me. Total squirrel. Yes, I'm a turtle. A turtle squirrel. All life becomes easier when expectations are lowered. Yvonne and Phil, different ends of the spectrum. Okay, yeah, they come to the same. It's so beautiful to see that. Okay. I'm watching Yvonne's videos, and all of a sudden I start seeing the people that are in my chat all the time and that I'm close to in my channel that are part of my, my familiar family, and there's no coincidence. There's fun with words too. Familiar family, okay, da 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 da. Like Paula, like John, like Danny D. All these people were there 6 months ago, and every one of them, I look back in my comments and see they shared her with me. And I remember once or twice clicking on her channel and hearing her going yip 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 yip, just like I'm doing now. Yip 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 yip, squirreling on. But the messages coming out of that woman's mouth are so profoundly beautiful that I wasn't ready for the information when it was shared bluntly with me by the people I care about in my immediate surroundings, is my point. And they shared her with me 7 months ago, 8 months ago, and I ignored it because I was on my own tunnel. I was had the blinders on like a friggin' horse, you know what I mean? So one can be open-minded yet have a closed, because you know atonement comes at 1 mint. Another fun with words that I think Paula shared with me or Jerry did. At 1 mint, atonement. So yeah, yes, and people have to realize that. People have to realize that and Ken Wheeler, he's actually Ken Wheeler is actually come around. Yeah, you got to check her out, Menzo. You'll fill up with just love in your heart for what she says, dude, because it puts everything in. She's got the Bible down to a freaking T. I mean, there is nobody I've ever, even Phil has not explained the Bible like this woman does, because that's all she focused on. That's all her vision has been. That's my point with this, is that your vision can be true, just like reading the Bible. As long as your vision is true, that God is true, that the right way is the one way. Because you can read all of the convoluted uh, uh, angel message in a bottle Bible, like Levette wants to call it Bible Babble. It's not Bible Babble. Bible is 100% truth. There is no other book on the planet that is nothing but truth. So help me God, than the Bible. That's why we put our right hand on the Bible and we swear on the Bible. Because in our heart of hearts, we know that the Bible is the one thing that is true on this planet. because it is truth. It is the word made flesh. You know, through that word, the Bible, you know, it makes it real. But my point is that the Bible is 100% truth. You just have to have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it. The lips of wisdom are closed unless to the ears of understanding. And there's works like the Kabbalion, you know, the Kabbalah, you know, secret societies were meant to teach this. We're hidden from the MFers of the world at first, but then the MFers infiltrated, I'm sure, just like every aspect of our life, just like the media, you know. Like when I was younger, I thought the word of the journalist was the one true thing you could trust, because that's what journalists was, right? They were truth spreaders. They were eye openers. They were the people that kept shit in check. But not anymore, because why? Because money got involved. They care more about what sells than what spells, you know? Right? I don't know your feelings about the peoples that bring your mind rolling, but for me, your channel is my driving times. Kept me know your journey was a fast ticket for me to just see. Thank you. Especially if you don't have a good filter for it, right? Ack. Ack. Never at one mint, yes. One song, one mind. It's better with an open mind. Taking the blinders off is a recurring process. Yes, and that is the whole thing. If your mind is too open, you may end up believing in all sorts of crazy nonsense. Though double-edged sword, yes, it is. Especially if you don't have a good enough filter, right? Believing is for the age of Pisces. It's Aquarius. Now knowing is happening now. Yes. Belief is for fools. You still have to, okay, now, but okay, there is a difference between belief and faith. You have to have faith in things, meaning that you mix bread dough, you need bread dough and stuff, and you have faith when you put it in the oven, it's gonna bake and it's gonna come out right. You know, you have faith that you're going to have a child, and it's going to come out right. You have faith that, you know, the person you marry or love is going to love you back. You have faith in that. Belief is an animal in and of itself that is the the avenue for war and for pestilence. Because if you believe in something, it is you become that. So yes, B lie V. Yes, I agree with that. I really, and a whole internet will be controlled information before too long. Same nowadays. I just absorb it all. Don't have to believe it's true or false. With the social credit stuff, it will be like a new technological dark age of information. Now, I want to get back to that whole systematic breakdown of all systems. No information can be trusted. Complete confusion and chaos. There's you know, pump your brakes, stop for a second. Put the car in park, put the truck in park, man. Just stop for a second. Be still. Think. Say to yourself, okay, all of this shit's happening. You may be right about everything you just said. Systematic breakdown of all systems. But this is ground control to Major Thoth. Checking our systems, everything's good. What will stop you from achieving the one ultimate goal you want to achieve? And that is to break the cycle of reincarnation. Is it not? You want to rise above the light, because we can rise above the creator. Our creator is the light, the perturbation in the medium you call the ether, in the waters of noon. The ultimate creator is God, because we are all part of it. God is everything. God is us. We are God. You know, we're not God, but you know, God is in us, but we are not God. You get my point there. So you want to be a cosmic gardener. You want to go to the next level, and New Agers would call it the fifth dimension. Okay, in my understanding now of what the pleroma is it's dimensionless, timeless, time, every dimension, multi-dimension, it's everything all at once, all in one time, boom. One and all, one time existent. It's the that that's where we live. That's your home. Now, what's going to stop you from achieving that goal? What's going to stop you from that? By focusing on just the negative aspect of our creation, or ignoring the good, or ignoring the bad. Either way, everything always works out in the wash, right? What does that mean? There is a good and bad to everything. There's twixt forces in everything. Same remains, key to success is sacrifice. Bob Robertson, that is not biblical. What's not biblical? Well, maybe I should hold off on adding you as a moderator because you look like you're going to be salty. I'm just kidding. What's not biblical? What are you guys talking about? What's not biblical? I am cycle breaker in my family. Once they prove the connection through Birkeland currents, they will be able to show the connection of spirit and be able to prove God. There will never be. Horton Hears a Who. I love that you brought that up, Archie. Horton Hears a Who is the sweetest freaking movie ever. I love that movie. Except for, no, Star is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper is the best movie I've ever seen in my life. It's full of what I'm talking about right here. The evidence of spirit doesn't therefore indicate there is a God. But Thoth, spirit is not of God. Spirit is created by God to keep us alive, dude. Spirit is different from soul. Soul is God. Our soul is God. Like Ken Wheeler says, we are merely radios receiving God. He doesn't say it like that because he stays away from the G word, because he pretends to hate Christianity and Judaism and all this other shit. But everything he talks about is the same thing I'm talking about. Is it not? He does it from a pompous, egotistical mindset, though. And I'm not saying I'm not coming off pompous or egotistical when I'm firm in what I believe or have faith in or understand or know. I don't know anything yet, essentially. But in my heart of hearts, I know what rests with me in my soul, and what rings true with me reverberates in my skin. It gives me goosebumps. Night, that's not good. What's not good, Bob? Come on, don't go tearing off and thinking I'm wrong, and speak your mind here. What you talking about? Because I love a good debate. He does it from a platonic view. Yes, he does. He does. Yes, I agree with that, Menza, because he's really full of great knowledge. And like I've said, I joined his group, because you can join, you can subscribe. I joined, I paid the extra $5 a month fee, and he promised phone calls with me or talking to me about certain things. I even paid him on the side for a translation of the Sphinx text at the paws of the Sphinx, because nobody I come across knew what it said. There's a stela there, and I don't even remember what it was about, but I paid him like $6 to translate it real quick for me, and he threw it in my face like I was lying, first and foremost. And then he never answered one question that I asked him straight out, because I started asking him about the black hole and are we residing in a black hole? Is the black hole the means for manifestation of energy to matter? And, he never had a video one on any of that shit when I started asking him about it. And, I'm not saying I'm taking credit for his mind, because the dude is beautiful in his mind and his thoughts. But the big but here is that he does give information freely. I'm not saying he doesn't, but he does it in a brash manner. And I guess I do too. He does do it in a what does he call it? What does he call it? A negativa. What does he call it? Where you think of things in the backwards way. You come to the truth through the back door instead through the front door. Platonist, is that what it's called? Ken doesn't know everything. Right. Nobody knows everything. The restoration of, yes, but there's something else. People seem to expect the dude to know everything. Well, he does. His loss was a relief, is how he, yeah, okay, yeah, you're right about that, I guess. Eliminating that which is false to, yes, that's, yes, exactly. If you had that little sixth sense, you could see spirit. Very true. That's how I seem to work things out. Yes, deconstructing things. Yes, I agree with that. Yeah, and I'm not, no, by no means am I knocking Ken, because I love the dude. I still watch his channel. I mean, the dude has brought me so far in my understanding as far as magnetism and what everything is made of. Because he's right when he says that he's the only one that can, and the dude is obviously smart as a fucking whip. And he's been through a hell of a life. His wife died of cancer on him. This is why he might have the thing against God. You know, and me myself, I can speak from experience. I hated God because my dad died, and just recently I started dealing with that. So I understand. I understand how he could get. You know what I mean? He nursed her. Yep, and yeah, yes, exactly. The Pythagorean pentagram is a Donald Duck, and yes, he's the one where I learned that the 108, 36, 36 Pythagorean, the what's that triangle that's in front of every house, guys, on top of the pillars of every major structure, architectural structure. That Pythagorean triangle is the layout of the hydrogen atom. you know and that's what that's what the anu, or the black hole, creates through accretion. Now, I asked him recently about the black hole, and is our event horizon the microwave background we observe because we're on the inside looking out? You know, so is the microwave background the event horizon? If we were on the outside looking in and seeing the donut shape, would the event horizon be the microwave background? You understand what I'm getting at here? And he said, I don't know, and he didn't ignore that question. He jumped right on it, and that was confirmation. He 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 does understand, and the proportionality expressed in the Pythagorean triangle pentagram is like the Fibonacci. Yes, exactly. Which also is shown in the Donald Duck in mathematics. You're right. The angles with the billiard balls. I just realized that, dude. You're totally right there, Miles. Wow, I just got goosebumps again. Yes, and in triangles, is it coincidence that every triangle equals to 180 degrees? What does that mean, guys? You know, back in a little. All right, timeless. Hey, where did Bob Robertson? Where'd you go? Night, this not good. I want to know what Bob Robertson thought wasn't good. Ken mentioned the Nazi who worked on the Disney stuff, Hans something. Yeah, from Operation Paperclip. Werner von Braun, or was it? No, was it? He was the Rocket Man, huh? Rocket Man, it's like David Bowie. What did he know? You know. Yes, and Hans Huber or so. Yes, I know who you're talking about. I've heard him say that. Dude, I've got every one of his. You guys are gonna Beetlejuice his big ass. What does that mean? 100 means to turn around and go the opposite way when going the wrong way in the first place. Or I'm doing a 180 in my belief or my understanding. Or, 180 is 9, right? 9, 9, 9. And, according to Tesla, 9 is the answer to the universe. 9 is the number that encompasses all. 8 is the infinite reincarnation structure, or the Ouroboros of our paradigm. And 9 is the one that rises above. The 9 is the personification of the all-encompassing energy, God, because it is the one above the infinite cycle, which is creation, which is the pleroma, which is the stillness, the calmness, the understanding of oneness. I only recently watched the Math Magic Land. I feel pretty mad I didn't get to learn any of that crap in school. Right? School was a horrible and violent. Yeah, and that's exactly the point here, is that even Ken has experienced just horrible things, like his wife dying on him. I mean, you could see it in him that it still hurts him to this day. People want what they can't have. If you create a bunch of sins out of the negative aspects of life, people will seek those and then feel another negative of guilt. Yes. The counter space, baby. Oh yeah. Yeah. And I learned that from, the counter space is the counter space is where God resides. It is the heart-shaped box, guys. Think about that. That just came to me. Thank you very much for that, Archie. That's awesome. The counter space is, Rasputin. The counter space is where God lives. The unseen. Makes sense, because it's connected to everybody. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Because I'm in the counter space and you can't see me. I see you when you're sleeping. I know when you're awake. Right? Guilt is so feel the feels and be real in the teal. Satan Claus laughs at you for believing his lies. Satan is us, man. Satan is this physical meat popsicle we are. The only Satan in this reality is an ignorant human. One who thinks they can attain the ineffable through the unnatural. It's time to discern or cern up. Just because CERN has a Shiva statue in their courtyard doesn't make it the pine cone in the Vatican, guys. Discern what is discernible, right? Counter space is behind the disk of the sun. No news. What's a portal or Stargate where your stars reside? I'm glad you chimed in here. I'm gonna make you a blue crew too. But yeah, counter space is dark matter, dark energy, just like so-called black hole is dark black, just like the dark rift in the galaxy, Milky Way galaxy, is a dark rift, which it is not, because just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like the light spectrum, we got 7 visual lights, spectrum on the light scale. 7. There's I believe there's 7 audible tenuities, or whatever it's called. Thoughts can regulators mount up. Right? Guilt, yes, and shame, and fools that believe the lies make up Satan's army of demons. Yes, exactly. As long as you are not infringing on another's free will, do what you will, experience away. Very true. Yet there is a time and place for everything. And if you're not living the righteous, you're living the wrong in the ascension chamber we call counter space. Regret kills more than anything. Now you brighten me the black glue stuff in mind. Yes, yes, yes. 7 laws, 7 chakras, 7 crowns. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Can't see all of them frequencies that your TV, right? All of it. Yep. Be as joyous as a child. And the whole child aspect is before we were indoctrinated with belief, we were innocent children. We weren't separated from God yet. This is why I think we had those dreams. I had those dreams up until I was about 5 or 7 years old, right around that time when you start becoming ego, when you start becoming your environment, when your environment, your input, nature versus nurture, nurture takes over instead of nature. When you're a babe in the woods, it says that in the Bible, right? Mouth of babes, right? When you're innocent, when you still believe in Santa Claus. There you go. There's another one. The day you stop believing in Santa Claus is the day you said, what the fuck am I here for? Am I right about that? If you got time, can check out my new vid, Angel 108 Films Static Disconnect. Yes, I'll check it out, son, for sure. Counterfeit. There you go. There's my MCF. I love you, Shelly. Comes in with counterfeit, counter space. Very nice. Cannot see the cosmic rays. Okay, and there's another thing. The neutrino aspect of it. Okay, so everything is a positive and a negative. And I'm not saying either one's good or bad. What disrupts that? Neutrino. And what is a neutrino? What is that? Huh? It's the transparent. Because what does a neutrino do? It goes through all matter. Right? I pulled his beard down and me and my sister was laughing. Yes. I think we remain children. That's why we are easy to manipulate with shiny things in entertainment. Very good. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. I had the oceanic feeling till I was 8, I think. Yes, yes. The thought I just came in mind when Thoth was saying that I pulled off the beard with of Santa Claus was that elf movie with what's his name when he's the elf. You smell like what does he say? You smell like cheese and wine or cheese and brandy or something. I love that movie too. I loved it. Get this, guys. I'm watching. The reason why I did that video with Transformers recently, 2 days ago. Oh, and by the way, I thought I was gonna die the other day. I couldn't breathe because I have asthma, and I know I should never smoke cigarettes or whatever, but I was on the way to the hospital and I thought I was gonna die. I really did, and I didn't think I was gonna make it to the hospital. And all I could think about was Jerry and his family in April, and thinking, wonder if Jerry, when he went to bed, knew he was going to die, or, you know, what good is it to know you're going to die? And this is all I could think about. This is all I could think about when I thought I was going to die. And I started, saying I'm sorry, and having this recount in my head of what recently went on in my mind in my life. But I don't know what I was getting at here, but I was what was I talking about before I said I had that asthma attack? Jesus, my God, my squirrels are just running in my head. The Egyptian goddess Nut. Yes, Nut. Nut. Okay, yeah. The waters of noon is the cosmic chaotic background. Nut is the sky. The yes, and did you know Nut is in Newt is in that what's that movie of where they're the wizards, what the hell is it called? Newt is the nerdy wizard with the brother that's part of the God, what the hell? There's that movie is so full. What is it called? What the hell was that movie called, guys? It just came out. It's with the wizards of it starts out with the chariot. They're in this they corral the evil guy or whatever his name is. Johnny Depp's in it. Shit, I can't remember. Fantastic. Yeah, that movie. Yeah, but it's yeah, sort of it's but anyway, Newt is in that movie. That's the guy that's good with the animals. His name is Newt. But you start watching movies. Okay, oh yeah, I was watching Transformers. Get this. And that's where I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really bad right now. I was watching Transformers. The end of the movie. That's the reason why I made that video of the Allspark. And I've had this thought in my mind ever since I started looking into the creation of Adam painting in the Sistine Chapel dome and the Louvre Museum in Paris, where the two triangles almost meet. The upside down Christmas tree from Jerry Runk and his communication with me, but the Allspark, and then Optimus Prime at the end of the first movie gives a speech where he says, uh, "Just like us, there is more to them than meets the eye." And then I got into all of these this upwelling of I started crying, guys. I mean, literally crying, just sobbing tears watching the end credit or Optimus Prime, a robot, talking about you know the Allspark, and without the Allspark, their planet died. Now, what is that saying? You understand what I'm saying? You know, my mom used to beat me with a clog, those wooden clogs like the one Eddie Murphy would talk about throwing, you know, you know. um, Parents tried to get me to be church boy. I went to church too, and I wouldn't have anything to do with it. It sounded like a bunch of BS. I woke up, almost popped, and then found Jesus teachings and changed my mind. Yes, I don't support Hollywood pedos. They're not, but I mean, they're not all like that. They're You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's, I mean, I really did. I bawled like a freaking. I find cry very. Yes, I cry a lot recently, and I'm not gonna die. No, no worries here. My parents were the opposite. No religion or moral upbringing. Yeah, I didn't. Kate Bush. I just cried listening to her too. Right. That I forgot who shared that song with me. A bit of church weddings, etc., but no church as such. You know that is running up that hill. Yeah. The Cassie's Corner, is this Tammy? Is that you, Tammy? I did pop, but it didn't take. Tried to kill myself a couple times. Either I'm not good at it or it's not allowed. Right. No, Cassie. Okay. Hi, Cassie. Sorry. Mr. Menza, Kate is a witch, but like you, listen to her music. I have her on vinyl. Yeah, I've always, remember a bully once laughing and saying I was crying right before I attacked him like a wild devil beast. Right. Right. Hey guys, this has been one of the best live streams I've had in a long time. And I think I've been on now for what? Almost 2.5 hours? No way. Really? 2.5 hours, guys. So, I'm gonna have to call her a night because it's 11:30 here. And I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my existence, from the top of my soul to the light of our life, that, I love you and I care about each and every one of you. Even the people I don't care about, I care about, because in the end, we are all the one thing. Through you is me, and I through you, and an eye for an eye makes an apple pie that we can all enjoy. Laugh, live, love, cry. That which is within you is also within me. We are one. Yes. Yes, yes. I appreciate every one of you. And yeah, I had fun here tonight talking to you guys. So good to have found you here. A plus to waking up early. Why, what time is it there, Jax? Yes, it is. And it's confirmation that, after much suffering, I plan to leave on 12 21/12/2012. 7 years later, I'm still here. My work not yet done. Very good. Archie, thanks for coming in and spreading your love. It's 5:30 a.m. Wow. You're in London, huh? Or you're over in England? Spank me if I'm wrong, but this was a terrible show. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, you guys are over in England, aren't you? Yeah, and if anything I pull away from this show is that, that we come at the same thing in different ways. And that convergence of divergent differences is what makes everything, I think. I think the confluence of differing energy is what is divinely manifest, I think. Without this, there would be no that. That and this are the same, but there is always this with a that. So with that being said, this is for you. I love you. We are all on the same page. There have been so many rabbit holes. Yes, there has been so many rabbit holes. And the love, the care unites. Yes. The rabbit holes. Has anybody seen my bloody Jabberwocky? There's a rabbit hole, a wall rabbit holes. Alice in Wonderland, right? I just had an awesome thought about Jerry and the Wizard of Oz. I miss Jerry and I love him. And if ever there's a means to get through to Jerry, please go show April that you're okay, because she needs you to. But the rabbit holes, Jerry, he's the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes, because he would always bring thought-provoking, conflicting thoughts into my head about, awesome and terrible. But I love you guys just like I love Jerry. And them rabbit holes, you always end up, Jerry said this to me, And I think we said it in tandem or in stereo. He said, you go down the rabbit holes, you find your truth, you find that truth that you're looking down that rabbit hole for. Then what? You're always left with the words, now what? Yeah, my phone's about ready to die. I'm at like 5%, but I'm saying goodbye here. If you go down rabbit holes, you need to tie. Right. Yes. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Spread the love, guys. Love, peace, chin grease.